Inside Story Uganda. Real source of political up.
Mutabani wa Yohana Mirundi.
Nemole mama wange yazala mu 10 za ggwanga Earthquake. Mama wange yazala Earthquake
na linnya lyo.
Yazala mu 10 za ggwanga.
Mukankanyansi.
Yankubidde n'essimu nanga nti nze nga tonjogedde kaabi fana ngenda pira kencha ku TV. Yazala nnyo. Bamukuba mu Buganda Rayo.
Ali atya mama.
Museveni talina kye yamuwa. Nagende wa papa ne musabirayo. If I'm 65, I'm with the 90s. Yasipesinga nga baana babiri. Emyaka ebiri buli mwana. I'm with the 90s.
Ali wa mwenda.
Waliwo emyaka 18 between me. Olowooza how old is she now?
Akuze.
Agenda mu 100. Naye ayina sense ezizonna. Mulamu nnyo ababuganda bamukuba ng'oyo Mayiga akeera ku makya nayogera atagala federazo kuteze mu mwonyi naye Mayiga
okay tugende kakana tuwuliziganye akatabo kakano yagala nsome akatabo bakayita Kane Mohoz.
When I see somebody posting the Kabaka because he's posting for money. Don't abuse. We shall handle this cowboy.
Okay.
I tell you, the matter is going to be solved.
Okay.
Sheba has been summoned by the police and Mwenda. And you see, you know, whenever they suffer setback, babijja mawulire. Biranzi. Nidangati sebo wanga tebinna landa mawulire.
Batan so bijja mawulire.
Babijjemu. Bono bwala busika enziku.
Okay.
Busika enziku buli bubiri.
Okay.
Busize bwanziku. Busika enziku waliwo akaina face wete nyuma.
So ekirungi otuge nti oyina information ti bano babayise nalabye Andrew Mujoni Mwenda
Mwenda has deserted this camp. The man who owned the buses also deserted. I was watching a fierce battle between the owner of the buses and the man who is fighting them. Yes.
So buli abavamu tebakulekera mirembe.
Baina kampu yabo Mwenda yavuddemu. Holide bane.
Nemwa mitamale oyine byewunyisa bingi.
Yes.
Nti gwe tubadde tumanyi for some good time ng'osonga olumwe mu Andrew Mwenda omweko.
No, me I don't believe.
Wali ku muzindalo gwa Radio 4.
I don't believe.
Defending
Mujuni Mwenda. You know nti Mwenda tachimanyi.
Ntichi.
Me I don't believe in malice. When you read that book of mine, nkubuulira why I hate malice. Me, I hate malice. And even in the meeting where I came from, I've been telling the Westerners, obuzibu bwammwe temuyina malogo. Aba Westerners tikine ensonga. Nti fe Abaganda tuyina eddogo. Tonneerigamu boli munene otya. Ndi mandwa. Bakubye emyaka 10 balina kuteegula. Balina okuteegula. Sinze mbafukaamirira. Siri bafukaamirako. They have to bring the money.
Okay.
Baja kutegula. Bamuseveni abategulira bani. They have to tetula bagana. Mukutegula tetula bagana. Kati aba Westana bayina malice. Nti omukazi yafudde mu London nga nurse ne bamukwata ku airport ne babba ebintu ebyo byonna. Ne bamuteeka ku CPS bwali bwamubanja. I fought for the woman. Omukazi ankubidde essimu. Bamututte bamuleta 27 njamu eyimirira. Bawa CPS. Ngenda kuba kasajja. Put a Ugandan azale ese sente ne bamuyola ne bamu akasajja ne kabeera ku simu. Kajja koma yi. A woman has worked is a Ugandan. Where do you enjoy life? Omusajja wa CPS Museveni mutuyambe ku akasajja kaveeko.
Naba, just give me a comment. We leave that. Give me a comment ku bibaddewo ku lwokunalwa wiki wedde Dr. Kizza Besigye yabadde natatandise walk to abalabaloza work protests.
I was watching Nganda.
Semujubire mu Nganda.
I have the recording.
Mwogezi wa FDC.
Semuju Nganda was invited by this camp that is being deserted. The man told Nganda, have destroyed Noob Siroka Gashumba. But I want you people, FDC, I want to establish relationship with you. I never respected Nganda, but I respected Nganda. I saluted him when I was watching the meeting. Nganda told the man, we cannot support you. If we want you to support, want us to support you, join the FDC. After that meeting, Nganda rushed and met Besigye. And he told Besigye that these people are divided. What do we do? What you see Besigye doing is proving that he's not a spent force. They are going to have a common front against Muhoozi if it materializes. Kakati bali chibabadde tebamanyi. Tibobi nti ono yayogedde ne Nganda. Nganda yagenze wani.
What Dr. Besigye?
Namugamba nti ono atwetaaga ne tulina okwogera naye ngaki ng'ekibiina. Don't talk to us as individuals. Don't think that we are spent force. Besigye kwe kuyimuka kambabuulira. Intelligence ya Museveni tekola. Museveni ajje regional balance mu yiso. Yiso erimu a lot of regional balancing. Museveni bw'aba ayagala okuwa abayiso omulimu abawa emirimu emirala. But yiso must be handed over to an intelligent young man. Eyasoma bino bitwasoma. Naye cannot work for this government. But nsobola omulikomendingira nti gundi asobola okikola ne gundi asobola okikola. The type of yiso we want today mu mbeera gye tulimu si y'abano aba regional balancing. The time for regional balancing has gone. Kakati, let me tell you, Omala has been lamenting for a long time, complaining about his fate. The government didn't know what was happening. The newspapers were highlighting Omala's lamentations. What do we remember about Omala?
Besigye yatulugunya nnyo Besigye biseera ebyo mu kwekalakaasa.
Omwana wange muto kati ali mu senior 2 yaŋŋamba Ben namubbulamu Ben Kiwanuka. I named Ben Kiwanuka. Abaana bange bonna balina amannya makambwe. Nina Mirundi Rebengula, nina Mirundi Salivakiri. Yabama cyane amufulumya nga Museveni atya Mbabazi. Nemubbulamu bajja baya para mwe Museveni atya Mbabazi. Erina must be decisive. I have Salivakiri. Yabama cyane amufulumya mu state house. So
ina kiro ina machara.
Nina machara. Wali mwana wange bamwita Salivakiri era muwanvu nga Salivakiri. Nina Mirundi Rebengula yali kabaka w'abatebere yasala. Nina Ben Kiwanuka. Oyo Ben oyo.
Ben gubadde yogira kali senior 2.
Ben yaŋŋamba. But daddy, you abuse Besigye every time. But Besigye is dangerous. Nyai ran away from the compound ne mugamba lwayi. I say frog. Besigye turned himself into frogs. That's why I ran away. Ne mugamba nga Omala agamba mbu Besigye escaped from his house through a water tank. Omala agena ngamba, Daddy, you are going to create us problems. Besigye turned himself into frogs. I ran away. Nasanga bamubuuza Ben teyalimye. Ben enkumbi yagisuddeyo. Namubuuza Ben, lwaki enkumbi wegise? I say frog. Daddy, you abuse Besigye. Era nakweza yakomona ngamba, stop abusing civils. Mu government. At school they are abusing us. Our daddy, instead of stealing money, is attacking everybody. Let him also steal. Young Amber, and seniors. Senior 2. Young Amber, stop attacking the people over money. If you cannot steal, shut up. Abana bamvuma kusomero. Tata omwa avuma babi. Yanga tabba. Ali seniors.
Senior 2.
Naye, people did not realize nti Omala was lamenting because they knew that Besigye was going to strike again. And that anybody who arrests Besigye today, if a policeman arrests Besigye today, they have been forewarned by Omala. Asante ya punda ni mateke. You are going to arrest Besigye for nothing. I did it, I'm suffering. And NRM obujozi bwayo, obusuma, obunuka, okutunya ku mitone okutunya alako. Oyinza okusanga ngatekati Besigye yawa gundi sente. Omala.
Kisoboka ekyo.
Yes. It could be that Besigye is educating Omala's children. Bano ne boyogera otyo olumala okukosanga ekidoli toyireti paper yabo olumala okukosanga bakanyuka paka ne bali agala bajjeyo ekidoli kyabwe. This is the problem. The strategy of using people and dumping them. For one day they will come and collect you. Me, I was a toilet paper. I was used, put in the toilet, and the water was flushed. Nobody can retrieve a toilet paper. Nobody since again I cannot be in the government. President Museveni alowooza nti omupiira gumpeddemu nantuuza katebe ku jirikiti nenvaako nagamba
nakuwomu wabule
nsamba kali nsamba me I can be an advisor. Me it will be senior it will be expanded for my record
on media.
Tekiriyo sinatuuka kweyo level bali balowooza nti I need gundi welfare. You don't need welfare to control me. I help him. There is a woman who can help you. Ninga tali maka. I help NRM, but I'm not part of them. Nemotoka yabo tebajiteka mu sente. Tumuli mafuta.
Nakuwa basirikale.
Yeah, basirikale as a senior citizen 65 I should be protected. What do they give them lessons? Baba wemmere. That's rubbish tibirimu. Nenze nkugamba.
So
nti Bobi Wine nti gundi akomyewo. We call it political realignment. The political landscape as gundi.
Is it favoring him?
Whenever Buganda sees Bajajukba.
So
let me tell you, let me explain the political landscape. Nti one, Besigye is back.
Come you.
Omusajja yenna bw'aba akuze n'agenda mu ddwaliro at my age bakazi bange bonna bakuŋŋaana mu ddwaliro n'abaana baabwe eddamaani alirina fe atulekedde ki. This is what is happening. As usual, Mengo is asserting itself. Kivola bajikuba kuluno ka lubindi ono mufere tuyina mufere tuyina katikiro mufere. Buganda always
atobde ku Besigye
we have factors, key players. Whenever the Buganda Mengo sees a fight in the central government, it is sacked in Chejikubya. Singa kuruno bakayola Buganda yingiddemu.
So Besigye
akomyewo. Mugisha Muntu, whom they have not been talking about, is now making headlines. Why? Attacks Muhozi. Yes.
And then Muhozi go
again. Yes. But was responding. By the time Mugisha Muntu was in the army, he failed even to dress soldiers. Abaserikali ku frontier ninga bayita bwerere. That's when they brought engato z'oludda olumu. I cannot yakwata gundi jet mwebaze yatta abantu. But he was embarrassed. Bamujja mukumiranga naye wali. What I be change akati ya kungundi. Yali brigadier ne bamufuna major general. Yali mu military intelligence. Yali asomye training wa. Where had they trained? Academies. When Muhozi talks about now, the academies, which academies did Mugisha Muntu go to?
Bamutenderezo okubeera one of the best.
Yasomera wa. Anti ebitabo. Kati batuleetera teka mu Uganda. A journalist must have academic papers.
Qualifications.
Yes. Kati journalism oli gwe twasomanga on paper. Is a batubuzanga ekibuuzo. Is a journalist trainable? No, a journalist is born. Kaka tuyina teka mu Uganda. Journalism was recognized as a profession. Yeah. We have people, graduates, we have full members, honorable members, abala tubaita tutya. Abatasula na kulia radio, oba lupapula lwa mawulire. Tuyina be tuyita full membership. Tuyina be tuyita honorary members. Tuyina be mu mawulire tuyina ba Mirundi 3. If you are not a graduate, tosobola kukulira lupapula lwa mawulire according to the law. That's why I record myself. Olwali mbadde ntaba bus nga bali mu meeting. Okimanyi?
Basi muleke.
Olwo ya bus mulabi mu meeting. Na advising a client we n'aba UCC nti mugujjeyo. I was watching them on video.
Okay.
Nga mbalaba ne ku session mbalabi ebyuma byange bibakwata.
So, ogambe nti waliwo kye tutalaba mu kudda kwa Besigye.
Yes, Besigye is coming to assert. Buli mukazi aleeta abaana be to negotiate. Ono nkugambe tiyasoose n'akuba tumwebaze yamudduseeko. N'aleeta lisiti ey'abantu abaafa mu COVID ne gye baabaziika n'abatali mu kabbuli ne COVID lisiti njiina. N'afulumya lisiti ey'aba nuupu abakolagana n'NRM. N'akwata Kasumba n'abakuba ye muntu y'omu. N'ategeera nti nannyini baasi eza linki yamudduseeko. Baasi emu gye baakuttemu netta abantu ne dereva n'afa. Bayimpawundize 9. Ne mbuuza Katumba Wamala nannyini baasi omumanyi.
Kino ky'amazina azita.
Teyazitadde. Namugani nannyini baasi bw'asinika amannyo g'omwepankako Katumba Wamala.
Eza linki.
Omumanyi nannyini ye. Singa asinika amannyo waasi n'owa gulobu n'asinika amannyo. Katumba onaamusobola. Tebazitadde. Uyo naye bavumbaganya olwaliro nga mbalaba. Nannyini baasi za linki neyaziyimiririra Katumba Wamala njamuweerezaako akatambi. Bavumbaganya olwaliro ku Seraton okwepangira ku maali ye. Nono naddamu nga mbalaba bwe ku byuma byange. Kaakati n'akwata n'aga nti bano mbakubye kwe kuyita ŋŋanda. Asiki ŋŋanda. Ndira nti ŋŋanda go ŋŋanda ku byuma byange taliiko ŋŋanda. Mubuuze ŋŋanda. Ŋŋanda ye yagenze n'agamba Besigye. Kaakati ono Omala akola ekintu kimu. Omala alabula bano nti bannange bagenda bakozesanga nange bwe baakola ki? Bwe bankozesa. Ti Omala baamukozesa tebaakola ki? Kitatta baamukozesa ki? Nze nange bankozesa bansuula kasasiro. Neŋŋaanayo. Sirimbwa gye basuula.
Kanzigi. Omukukunavu Tamale Mirundi.
Mukukunavu kya Luswayiri. Ne mu Luswayiri bakiina.
Omukukunavu.
Musajja ali sabuni.
Waliwo yambuza nti omukukunavu kye ki?
Mu Luganda kitegeeza self made. Kitu kikola ku lumonde. Monda akuba ettaka n'akukunala.
Yerwanako
n'akukunala. Self made.
Owakijjaawo.
Tuli ba self made. Ba kitaffe baali tebamanyiddwa mu Kampala tetubeerangako naye. Kyobula bano mu katabo kanga.
Novaayo.
Bw'osoma akatabo kanga ako mbalaga history ya family yaffe. Tubumva mutujooga mmwe nga mulowooza tusobola muyinza tufuula ebidoli. Tibwe tumala okunywamu ne tukanywa.
Okay. Kale.
We have dignity.
Njogera kusoma katabo.
I'm a flag bearer of a dignified family. Muyinza kutunia ku mituko tunywa.
Okay, obala katabo kengendo okusoma ali ku Radio 4 ne Radio 7 njagala kusomako kansoma katabo kana onaga kani katabo kano kuwandika bakayita kan Kainerugaba become muhozi. Okay.
Museveni amulese bakube mutamani we atali beera ati omununuzi.
President yatunyonyola gamba munatu yatubulya muhozi ekitegeeza.
Avenger. Nga bamukubye werugawo ndibwa.
Okay.
Yaba mukubambwa asigale mu budget ayogera bakube. Nafe netuyingirawo.
Namuyingirawo.
Ate mwanange
mweba defenders.
I defended myself this morning in a group of people. Nembaga nti mukubira ayogere naawe. Nembaga I don't know this man.
Jeno muhozi.
Yes.
Nera nange nakubwa.
Ne abantu bagana tebekikiriza. People don't believe.
Gwata yagala.
Nkugambye people don't believe bakeerewa nga. Somebody came from Jinja. Nga ina abantu. By leaders. Why don't you ring him and we talk to him directly? Nemuganti, do you think mumanyi? He likes me, I like him.
Sajanga kuagala na mula nga kutade committee.
But yes. Ngate sikoze robigi na kamu.
Asobola takumanyi.
Yeah, I defend na yeye investing bango ba mu 2011 mu September. Yampereza se yakube simu. Kyali na sawa 3. Nangamba Mose is not involved in those rangozi. Iranga me. 2. Christmas nampereza send. When I was poisoned, ye syndical doctor nga simumanyi ne mugoba. I was ngayagala kumanya. obandi kiki ekibaddewo afterwards waliwo meeja yajja n'omutwalo gwa $1 gumu nga njogedde ku leediyo tebanaye ndi mulwadde njagala buyambi naye nagenda ne bagamba mumugoberere yava mu ofiisi ya Muhoozi Ekkololo
gwe mukwano ago oguva
naye nga ye tayogedde naye bwe baali bagenda okuwuliriza nga bahayalinze basaagiza akatambi kenakukubira wano alinyiza okakuba mu details nakubira sisa wa president moved family ya president yenjagala bubasodo baani era mpandisa akatabo kange ejogo ly'abakooto kali mu nnimi zonna ejogo ly'abakooto
abakooto ng'otegezaani
abakooto waliwo obwakabaka nga babuyita nja bubabuulira akatabo kange mujja kaso nga kabaka bamuyitanga musenvuzi naye yagenda n'akuliyetinga abakooto bajja kuwasa abakooto baatega mu eggwanga waliwo omusajja eyali akolagana ejo n'abakooto baali bamuyita ndikiwanula abakooto bwe bagenda bakuba ne bamugirayo n'amagumba gajjajjawe ne jjajjawe yafedde emyaka 5 abakooto nga badduse
nga bakuba
ndikiwanula bamukuba n'amagumba gajjajjawe n'amagumba gajjajjawe ne bagajjayo ne bagokya yali alina omukooto gwakolera nga abakooto ensi nga yeetamiddwa abakooto
kale kansoma akatabo kani Muhoozi Kainerugaba become Muhoozi nja kafunako kopi kano kawandiikibwa mu Tamale Mirundi tuwuliziganye nkuwa akatabo osoma mu Tamale tuwuliziganye
kabaka bamuyitanga musenvuzi
taito yakatabo eri etya
ejogo ly'abakooto ejogo ly'abakooto ne mwalimu ndikiwanula bamukuba abantu ng'omukooto gwe yali akolera dduse ne bajjayo n'amagumba gajjajjawe ne bagokya
kale katabo kano bakawandiika mwami Tamale yakawandiika nkalaba wano authored Sunday March 2 days after Anita Among won elections as the new Speaker of Parliament. I dedicate this book to my daughter Namatov, who was killed at Sir Albert Cook Hospital for organ harvest and her twins stolen. I have never let her down and I continue to pursue the killers up to ICC. Ayogera mwami Tamale Mirundi nyini kuandika katabo kano kansomeko wano mangu eddakiika 5-6 zokka. The stinking destitutes gwe mutwe. Okay. Having laid bare the above background, it is not surprising to find out that those who are fighting General Muhoozi Kainerugaba are using malice because it is the same group and it is the same method they know. However, as the Muganda says, the one who accuses the other using malice concentrates on the fight, yet his own records stink. This is the title for my book. Destitute normally stink, but there is always the most stinking of the two. Let us examine the accusations against General Muhoozi. First, those who are fighting Muhoozi say he is incapable of leading the country. How can we know this? Unlike his opponents, who have been willing to show us the capabilities as far as managerial skills are concerned, Muhoozi, as a general, has taken up dangerous assignments in his duties as a soldier. He has been in the jungles of the DRC fighting against ADF rebels and Joseph Kony. On the other hand, Ruabogo, I don't know which Ruabogo is this, Ruabogo has been able to build a business empire not built on business acumens. Okay, yeah, typo on where acumenship, but monolithic maneuvers and privileged wealth. The group says the Mohos is given a chance and cannot control the army. This shows the group's bankruptcy in a general, If a general of the army cannot control the army, then how can a civilian like Ruabogo do it? If Mohos is hated within the army, we would see mutineers whenever he is deployed. They also talk about the tweets he shares on matters of foreign policy. Leadership, especially the presidency, is guided by the country's foreign policy. It is for this reason that leaders, even in highly developed countries, are surrounded by handlers or experts in different fields. Also, the tweets are making the people like Andrew Mwenda, who take advantage of his leisure time to make what would be his private time public. Who is to blame if a malicious person reveals what happens in your bedroom? Obviously, many of us would be ashamed. We have many examples of malicious acts being meted on innocent people. However, those who are involved have been judged fairly by the public because the malicious acts are not a result of their own making. For example, when the former US President Ronald Reagan addressed the public after his victory, he tested his voice on the microphone and said, "I have declared war on the Soviet Union," a statement that caused uproar across the world. This was, however, blamed on his technical team, who made it public, and it did not cause war between the US and the Soviet. It was understood that this was pre-testing sound and not official speech. We also remember a secret conversation between the British Prime Minister Tony Blair and President George Bush discussing their admiration of the German Chancellor Angela Merkel. In this secret conversation, Tony Blair accepted to be a go-between, and the two were presented as schoolboys admiring a beautiful netballer. However, since this was the work of a malicious journalist, it was dismissed as gossip. It did not cause marriage breakups in both the Bush family and the Blairs. Recently, when Britain organized a referendum on the future of Scotland, the Queen of England got a briefing from the Prime Minister about the results that irritated the Queen. She did not want Scotland to remain part of Britain and reportedly said, "I wish they had gone." However, since it was not her official position and not emphasized before the referendum, it did not cause political tremors in Scotland or reverse their earlier results of the referendum. In Kenya, when terrorists blasted Ufumbi building that hosted the American embassy, President Moi made a statement saying, "No Christian can do this." He was blaming the incident and the death of hundreds of people on Muslims, but without proof through an investigation. His statement attracted strong criticism from Muslim leaders in Kenya. Even the recordings I play on air are dismissed by those involved as fake. Why? because the recordings are not intended for public consumption. Let me conclude with the Julian Assange revelations called WikiLeaks. They have not caused international row because they were not intended for the public. If the anti-Muhoozi group dismissed these recordings as fake, when in some cases names are mentioned, why do they capitalize on Muhoozi's alleged tweets? Let's also look at Muhoozi as an individual. He grew up in exile when his father was already engaged in the struggle and had to share time with family and his revolutionary activities. Unlike many of us who grew up under the strict guidance of our fathers, Muhoozi missed this during his formative age when he needed fatherly guidance. Muhoozi would ostensibly suffer the stigma of being a son of the most wanted man in Uganda. His father was also portrayed as a fugitive. His father was at a risk of facing the gallows anytime. I am surprised that in spite of this upbringing, Muhoozi has remained a gentleman and a focused young man. It is common in Uganda for people in government to set up and lure units of security into disrepute. Even Ugandans often describe their tormentors with names of security heads, when actually the heads of those units are not involved. You'll hear families of those arrested being advised to tag their missing relatives to individuals. People will say, abo ba iso, oh, basajja ba kandiho, oh, basajja ba kakoza mutale. Despite the malicious propaganda peddled against Muhoozi, I have not heard such comments hinting to Muhoozi, which means that these are just malicious lies. He does not hesitate to involve. However, Rabogo's name features prominently in every scandal, both in government and private sector. He does not hesitate to invoke his mother-in-law's name to intimidate and scare government officials. He actually accused me of abusing his mother-in-law to chase me out of State House in 2014. I don't know which Rabogo you're talking about here. There are so many. Which was a lie, but ended up killing my political career. He thought that he would suffocate me into submission by closing my financial resources, which has totally failed. However, my family suffered, and this has been his practice. For fear of reprisals, this is why he undermines Muhoozi, who he sees as his major rival over the presidency. Although newspaper reports and public debates have implicated members of the Museveni's family in fraud, scandals, and land evictions, Muhoozi's name has never suffered anywhere. No. Muhoozi's name has never featured anywhere at all. We normally hear allegations pointing to bakoddomi ba Museveni, bawala ba Museveni, and mulamu wa Museveni. Muhoozi's tuberenga tuva kumpewo ne media consultant Joseph Tamale Mirundi. Kansoka nsome kubaka mangu omukuna mundabire oyo mwagala nnyo lwakuba ayina nnyo
okujjako kali
bakasangewa
mu bookshop mwekali
abantu banga bemasindi hoyima
bajje babugule bajje oba afenda abo bagulira obaani. This is my money. Muteke mu sente
bawulidde
okujjako kanoko ejjogo lyaba
atoka ntuteko
kakano kankakuwadde
kakano kalina
ejjogo ly'abakooto kali mu nnimi zonna ne mududuwo ne mulunyankole ne mukimwe namwekali ejokulya abakoto
kale kansome kubaka onagambye omukunavu mundabire nnyo oyo mwagala nnyo lwakuba naye alina emboozi bingi mbo wasinia tu yamusabye agenda atandike naye okubba
yaŋŋambye naawe bba leka kutuleekaanira
Mirundi kyali bange nnyo naye baaba atamutya gwe ntya oyo ye Mwalimu Solomon Bumba akutumidde onagambye kungu kwetuli tell Tamale Mirundi that government officials are liars if even they can't fulfill leaving us almost being killed by our comrades. Nope. Okay, webale nnyo
kankubulire
onagambye kungu I am following and I'm laughing alone here.
Musenero alage emmese musenero atulage emmese zeyagula oba zizadde oba zamawako oba emmese yiye kubanga waliwo nemmese eri mu nnikaze
agambye I am Francis Naka emmese ziri zaali zakuyigirako nga yagula mmese
ng'agirina
Chikumi Musatu Katonyeze Sat Radio 4 and Susan Onagambye I am Francis Nakasongola. Thanks for the program. I'm listening in. Jambo ndugu Francis Okuve Nakasongola. Onagamba kungu kwetuli tugoberera amakiki Mugisa Henry in Makindye. Well done Mr. Kungu. Greetings to Field Marshal Tamale Mirundi. He is indeed a gift to Uganda. God bless him. Mwami Tamale obudde bwafu bwawedde ukasome message wano. Mangu. Onagambye ye Grace Alimbale kungu am following you webale Madam Grace Mbale okugoberera enteekateeka eno yonna onagamba kungu kwetuli webale nnyo kubeera nga oweereza Tamale tumwagala nnyo tutumbudde tell him I love him Ali Isaiah bwagambye ono nagamba leka nsome message z'abantu mu Tamale onagambye kungu thanks for the show brother greetings to Tamale naye security yabaddewa ng'abatemu balumba Mirundi. I am tuning in from Banda. I agree with Uthman. Onagambye I'm tuning in from Banda, but okay, we are on listening. Innocent atuganyira Tamale. Ne Tamale best turns into a frog. Ha. Your son is stubborn. Okay. Oyo bwagambye Sunshine Boaz webale nnyo. Comrade Rwanga Charles webale okubeera nga ogoberera. Akungu kwetuli Emmanuel akakwalcha jambo. Nabalamu ino wano onagamba kungu sebo webale nnyo mukunavu tumwagala nnyo mumwongere obudde kuba yatukolera olunaku webale kuweereza mwami kungu media consultant yebale kufisa budde n'alambula ensonga bw'omuwuliza toyagala amale ambassador Busulwa Kenneth Emuzinda Nsanji webale kungu thanks for the show Tamale talk about salary increment for science teachers Master Richard Dos Chisanja Masinde webale jambo kungu and Tamale Mirundi we want you to appear in 2026 elections as president. Fufa Moses Alika Kumiro, Malcolm Weber Ogambi, the late Regema group of commanders targeted for elimination from UPDF. Targeted for elimination from the UPDF High Command. Was it one of the key demands the President Paul Kagame made to Uncle? Okay. Good evening, Mr. Kungu. Thank you so much for your good presentation, and indeed I'm enjoying Mr. Tamale. I'm Lord Councillor Dr. Wadanda. I'm tuned in from Namungona, Kungu and Tamale Mirundi. I'm Kagwa Livingston from Noya District, Lutuk Parish. I thank Tamale for his wonderful words. Those who are cutting people with pangas, they need serious punishment. Onagamba Kungu Yenza Julio Julius Chamba de Kwendi Orthodox Church Namungona Tumbude. Kungu, thanks for the show. I'm Kwebiha Rogers Ndaraji Hoima. We need a copy of those books. They are inspiring. Thanks to Mirundi Kabalega. Kungu, thanks for the show. I'm Halima Kamengo Kwendi Ntale Lati Bendeje Jambo. Onagamba Kungu. Semuju you're talking about now, but you used to talk very well when you were eating. Omumuoli Peter Katumba Pakanyima Sende. Okay, Ontale Lati Jambo. Kungu webale rapa governor Ekabango Chinyara anze David Hoima Bwaki Tamale. Okay, webale onagamba hey Adam Kungu, thanks for the show. I'm Channel East from Chiuya Masinda. I like your presentation. Akungu muje baleko dabira Mr. Tamale Mirundi ankolera nze chama weno enakase kentumbude omukulu Kungu Tamale mundabire mwagala nnyo nga sente byayogera bitufu Dr. Dan Binyinya Masende Rogers ogambye ta
bampeyo omukyalo omunyolo
chokere kumpe bakulya kule
mumpeyo omukyalo omunyolo
oyina watugambo oyina bana oyagala kwongerako
nina omuyima n'omusaami bampeyo omunyolo
bane ku radio 7
n'omulugwala
namba yange 075 mwami Tamale mu mwoyo omunyoro omulugwala
ntegere nti kabalega nange ngandeega mulege nga nange ndeega
sibula abantu
kakati kambabuulire
tunaddamu nga tuzeemu
on a serious note
nze Adam Kungu
what I've discovered about these Bijambia people, they are young, they could be that they have no coordination. Abana batu bayinza okubanga bakola ebintu ebitu enjoy. 2 basooka kuba mataala ne bagajjako. 3 mugule amakufulu agalamu.
Okay.
Amakufulu gano gonna bagayiwa mu amayumba gange gonna enzigi bazigudde gonna bamala okugula ne bapika kali for munda. If they didn't find me, 2 respond. 3 we shall seal off the area.
Abangoberera ku Baba TV onako olwencha ku machani na General
we don't expect anything from the police.
General Grigori Mugisha muntu enchagwe nina ku Baba TV teekako kusawa 3 ez'okumacha ngattanye ensonga. Mwami Tamale gaye bakolechi balegenga naye bolega.
Nange bampeyo omukazi omujondo balegenga nange bwendeega. Naye nalegera bwereega. Lega.